बहुत कुछ मैंने प्रिपेयर भी नहीं किया।
हाँ हाँ, अब आप इतने बात कर चुके हो, वही
नहीं नहीं
क्वेश्चंस
वो
होते घुमा फिरा के, क्या
हाँ नहीं,
प्रिपेयर
आई एम
करोगे?
नॉट वरीड अबाउट द टेक्निकल
हाँ.
पार्ट्स, आई एम वरीड अबाउट द नॉन टेक्निकल पार्ट्स।
Before we get into the nitty-gritties of data availability of Avail and everything, right? Let's start with you, right? Who is Prabal? What's your story?
That's a hard question. Like I had a very academic background, so nothing like CryptoPunk or nothing crazy. So it was extremely normal study. When I was in bachelor's, I
Right,
came to know about cryptography,
right,
and then from there on I went into this rabbit hole. In 2016 I started my PhD,
mm-hmm.
and that was in cryptology and security.
Right,
And that's mostly when I started formally studying blockchains. Of course,
right.
I had heard about that before, knew a
Well,
bit
let's
about it.
let's take a step back. Like, where was your schooling? Where did you grow up?
Oh, okay,
How was your
okay.
childhood like? Were you always like inclined towards research, towards cryptography?
I grew up in Kolkata, India,
Right,
and mostly there, but a few like in another city for a few days and so on and so forth. But largely in and around Kolkata,
right,
India, and my fascination was not really about research or anything like that. I got hooked into internet quite early, and I mean quite early according to me, not according to a few folks that I see right now. But yeah, and then hacking and things like that captured my imagination, so to
right.
say.
Let's say ethical hacking so that you don't get in trouble.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. No, but I was not good at it,
Yeah.
so you don't have to worry.
Okay.
But yeah, I think largely there I realized that what do I need to formally pursue in order to understand not really the glory and everything, the shine, but what is behind it. How What do I need to understand it? And I realized that cryptography is the right keyword. I started fiddling with symmetric keys and encryption systems and so on pretty early, and thankfully like I had goals to pursue cryptography, but during my bachelor's, I got a good mentor, as a professor who was already working in crypto, and of course, it was very how do I say, not that good. What I did at back then, like not good in quality, but at
Right.
least it gave me the exposure to kind of kindle my interest in that and make sure that I pursue it later. And but I quickly realized, like during my bachelor's and all this, like writing some research papers and such, that I lack the mathematical fundamentals that is needed to pursue cryptography as a profession. So then in masters, I entered CMI in Chennai. It's called Chennai Mathematical Institute. There it was more about theoretical computer science and so on, and there I kind of at least got more about the mathematical backgrounds and such. And after that, I went to Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata again,
For PhD.
for PhD
Right.
program. But yeah, again, for after 4 years of doing research there, I realized that I was of course studying and getting to know a lot of things, but I was not being able to make the impact that I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do more in the applications and applied crypto rather than studying research papers and such.
Right.
And that's where I dropped off my PhD program to join Polygon. Then
Right.
it was called Matic, of
Right.
course.
How was the dropping out journey? Like,
I think it was quite okay. I mean, people like, of course, attribute a lot to that dropping off, but
right.
it didn't feel like that because, yeah, of course, I knew that it was a change in culture and such. But during my PhD, also, I did, out of the 4 years, I think I spent year or more than a year actually in just industrial internships and such. So
Right.
it was not too uncanny for me. I already knew before that. Also during my masters, I did internships. So my my internships in Oracle, in IBM Research, in a few other startups already geared me for this journey.
When did you come across Matic? Like during your PhD, like how is that story like?
So no, I mean at one point I got a bit frustrated during my PhD. I mean it was going on well, but as I
Right.
said, I wanted to do more, and it didn't feel like I was doing to my best of
Right.
my ability. So and my work was primarily done. Like in PhD, there is part of work, and then there is a part of getting it published and so
Right.
on. So I was into that phase, which I didn't really like,
Right.
and I was just casually scrolling through. I mean, it was a funny story actually. Like I went through LinkedIn and I saw Matic. Of course, I kind of knew Matic because they were one of the only scaling solutions on Ethereum back then.
Right.
So then I saw business development.
Which year was this?
This was 2016.
2016.
No, sorry, this was 2020. 2019, 2020 is
Okay.
when. So in 2020, mainly I was looking for this. And in 2020, they had just launched. So Matic had just launched their mainnet. Afterwards, I saw a business manager or some role,
Yeah.
like some random role. And I thought like, okay, let me just apply because anyway I'm not doing any good.
Right.
So I applied. Thankfully the HR person Sanchari, who
Right.
works with us now, so she did a brilliant job. She called me up and said like, are you sure about that role? We have
Yeah.
another role which is a researcher which we have not publicly published.
Yeah.
Do you want to apply for that? I said like, I will be more than happy to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how.
Oh, nice. And what were you working on back then when you joined Matic?
I was pursuing my PhD on the fairness, and as I was mentioning, on
Right.
data retrievability and such.
When you're not consumed with Avail, right? What are some things that you like to do to just like blow the steam off? I know you play amazing FIFA, and we have to get back on that. But yeah, what are some things that you love doing?
Yeah, I think I used to play FIFA a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. Like
Yeah.
in my PhD, I think that was one of the times that I realized like I bought the PlayStation and everything. I spent I think a year or so on it,
Right.
and then one day I realized that I'm spending so much time on doing this
Right.
that maybe I'm just wasting my time, right? So yeah, I think playing games like right now, also playing something on Quest or something,
Right.
just lets me help recapitulate my thoughts and so on. So those are some of the things, and I try to play badminton a bit. Football is something that I like watching, playing,
Right.
following, and so on. But lately, I have not been able to play much. But
Right.
yeah, roughly, sports is something which is an avenue to kind of vent a lot of different.
Right.
I wouldn't say frustration, but just to get back on your thoughts and so on.
Yeah.
It always feels very. Um, um, like you always get back more than you give in some
Right.
sense in sports. You feel really really tired, but then you feel like you have gained so much more.
Right. No, I think I didn't know you played badminton. We have a small group of people who play badminton. I'll hit you up.
Yeah, let's